This is a book review on what video games have to teach us about learning and literacy. It's written by James Paul Gee. It's a second edition and is dedicated to his son, his then 6 year old son Sam, who he began playing the video games in order to teach his son how to play them, and the tables got turned on him. The son ended up teaching the dad that you can play these video games and still learn at the same time. So from then on, Mr. Gee decided to look into and take seriously education and video gaming. Why not incorporate some type of video game like curriculum for schools? And one of the arguments is, but isn't playing video games a big waste of time? Well, according to our author, not if it's teaching you, which is the player, something. If it's teaching you reading, listening, visualizing, writing, whatever, if it's teaching you something, then it's not a waste of time. Now, the only problem is with the content of the game design. If the game has a weak story, poor graphics, or not challenging enough, then the individuals would cease to play that game. The game goes for the same goes for today's learning. If the curriculum isn't holding the student's attention, then it's time for something new. Video games can hold the attention of children, even those diagnosed with ADHD, for hours, where they normally would just sit and fidget as soon as they get into the classroom. Um, Kids and young adults who play good video games are on the fast track to learning new technology. They will eventually be the next generation, the generation Xbox, to lead the way. In his book, Gee has come up with 36 principles of learning that he states can be found in good video games. Now, the term good means that it's a game that holds the attention of the player. It's challenging enough to lead them to frustration, but not too difficult for them not to figure out how to overcome certain obstacles. Good video games are designed to make the player think. The learner, or the player or student, must try to be enticed to put in lots of effort or hours in order to achieve some sort of meaningful success. And he believes that education is the same way, that the idea that the student will be rewarded for putting in the work is good, and not only will they be rewarded, but they'll be rewarded on their difficulty levels, their skill levels, whether it's easy, medium, or difficult. And according to some researchers, practice is how children learn. It's called reflective practice, and there are 4 stages of this learning. One is to probe or to touch it. The second one is to hypothesize it. What did I just touch? And the third, to reprobe it, touch it again. And the fourth and last is to give meaning to which you have touched. Now, this is how children learn. And the video games are the same way. You have to continue to keep doing certain moves, jumps, slides, dives, what have you, in order to get further in the game. And school's the same way. You have to learn your math. You have to learn how to read in order to get on to the next level. Now, if they are given, which are the children, if they're given and told everything they need to know, then they have no need to expand their minds. And he says that this is not good for active and critical learning. Now, here's a little bit about our author. First and foremost, he's an educator. He has been in the field for quite some time. Since the late 40s, he was born, and some of his ideas are as follows. Manuals, the ones that you get for the video games, are like textbooks for students. And all the games, they come with one. A lot of students get theirs. But not all of them are read, just like the textbooks. Most just play the game before even reading or opening the manual. They learn by experience. Now, textbooks are the same way. Students read them without really learning anything from them. They need to be experienced first. In order to get stuff out of the textbooks, they have to do a hands-on experiments, see things, touch things, then go back and read, and that's how they're going to learn. and these manuals are the same way for the games. They need to play the game first and then go back and look at the manual. It makes more sense to them. These textbooks and manuals should be used as merely reference books. So when you get stuck or you need more help, you go back to these books. So students aren't learning because they don't know how to read. They're not understanding the academic wording. Um, People don't talk like the video games in their household with the big words, and they lose definition. The children do. Good teachers need to know this and have more experience with hands-on learning. After doing so, they now have a better, clearer understanding of what they are reading. This is the students. The achievements this man has are way more than what I have listed down. He has been in the field of what is it? The literacy, education. He's taught. He's the department chair of numerous colleges, so he knows what he's talking about. He's well known in his field. He is respected in the new literacy studies, where he spent a majority of his time studying and working, and now he's one of the giants in regards to video game and learning. With the analysis, let's see here. In order to be successful in education and gaming, you must be an active and critical learner. You begin to learn about yourself. Your attitude towards what matters will show in the classroom and in the video game world. Now, Mr. Gee also said that if the game is like the schoolwork, if it's fun and challenging, then the better the player or the student will want to do. You want to keep reaching for the next level. Now, video games can help children with their reading. Most of the good games have a lot of dialogue, so these students they're not willing to read in school, but give them a video game and they're going to learn how to read in order to get to the next level because they're having so much fun that they want to keep on going. Little do they know they're learning. They're learning how to read. For a conclusion, his overall point of view for this book is that we can learn best by doing. Good video games incorporate good learning principles. Like learning good video games, they adapt to the level of the player or the student. They reward different players differently, but all get rewarded. And the gameplay often stays at the player's competence level, whether it's a beginner, novice, or expert. Learning to play a good video game and learning in school needs to be a happy medium. Give them enough guidance to where they feel comfortable that the teacher is close enough to assist if they get stuck, and to give them just enough space that they are forced to think critically and become more creative learners. I highly recommend this book. I recommend it to those who are into education, those who are into gaming, good games, the ones that really make you think and take you outside the box. Excellent book. Highly recommend it. It's not a difficult read. And I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for your time.